Well, the tropical cyclone threat just keeps increasing. Now we have another potential cyclone off the northeastern coast of Australia. This one could be called Niran in the next day or so. And if the Bureau of Meteorology pulls its finger out, probably in the next hour or so at the next advisory, because this is, as you can see, a tropical storm at least. Winds already around the area are gusting up to 55 knots, sustained around 45 knots, which meets the Bureau of Meteorology's Category 1 tropical cyclone threshold and almost meets the criteria of Category 2 tropical cyclone threshold. So why this is not a named storm? Well, we put that all down to the Bureau of Meteorology's naming criteria. As you can see by radar imagery, it's looking very gloomy over Cairns sort of area, with up to 70 millimetres of rain falling in the few hours that it's been since 9 a.m. around 12 hours. Down south, Rowley Beach has picked up around 200 millimetres. Ellington Reef hasn't recorded any rain per the Bureau of Meteorology, but have recorded winds now of 55 knots sustained. Very strong indeed. They're pretty much in the eye of this system. There is a definitive eye on the radar imagery. You can see that curved sort of band area thing there, and it's just that onshore flow that's pummeling Cairns with rain. I imagine that more heavy rain will continue through the night, and that is why there is a flood warning in place. There's also a severe weather warning in this area and a tropical cyclone warning for the area. Now take a look at the Bureau of Meteorology forecast track for this system. We can see that this is meant to be stalling in a very moving in a very slow way. It reminds me of Iris of 2018, to be honest. Moving sort of in that northeasterly direction, stalling, turning into a tropical cyclone, and then intensifying quite significantly. Category 3 cyclone status is expected at the end of the 3-day forecast month, and it's meant to hold Category 3, maybe even get to Category 4 status as it travels over the open South Pacific Ocean, the Coral Sea. Norfolk Island could be in for it after the 5-day forecast period. The Bureau of Meteorology is on board with that. Really, and a lot of other models are indeed. Now, the HWO is the biggest outlier, calling for an 898 millibar storm. The maximum potential energy for this system is 890 millibars, so it is possible, but very much unlikely at this time. That will call for practically perfect conditions for the HWO's forecast to come through. Here's the GEFS forecast ensemble for the next 120 hours. You can see they're expecting quite a significant storm, 70 knots at least. Likewise with the JTWC forecast track, 70 knots expected 5 days out from now. So all models are really liking quite a strong storm in the open South Pacific Ocean. So if you are planning on taking your boat out there or taking a ship through this area, don't, because this is going to be quite a significant storm indeed. We're also expecting windy conditions and large waves and very heavy seas for much of the Queensland coastline over the next week or so, and there are hazardous surf warnings already in play. But right now, over the next 2 days, rainfall is the biggest threat. If it's flooded, forget it. If you see floodwaters rise, you need to head away from them as fast as possible. Uphill is probably the best solution you'll find. And get yourself into a sturdy building if floodwaters do approach you and there is no escape, because floodwaters to the likes of this could be very, very dangerous indeed. Already 300 millimetres of rain has fallen in multiple private weather stations in the hills around this area. Innisfail also around 250 millimetres. So we're looking at huge daily totals that are expected to persist for the next 2 to 3 days or so as this cyclone meanders around the coast. Gale conditions are expected. We're receiving reports of plenty of fallen trees, so if you're in the Cairns area, watch out, don't stand under flimsy trees, and all this rain will definitely uproot more trees, so we're looking at quite a high risk. Take a look at some satellite imagery from the Bureau of Meteorology. It hasn't been blown up the best convection, and it really does look like it's been sheared to tears at this time, and you can see that western side is by far the most prominent, which is bad news because that's the coastal side, but still not looking awfully shabby and definitely deserving of a name. If it does get named, it will receive the name of Niran. So listen out for Niran in your news updates. Now that's all from me. If you do want to keep up to date on the latest, be sure to subscribe to my main channel, Cyclone Niran, and join the Discord server as well to have a nice little chat. All the links we provided in the description. That's all from me. I'll catch you all in the next storm. Goodbye.